Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Gonna correct an error I made in installing the front bumper on the Toyota Tacoma. This is the body armor Highline front bumper, and that line inside the wheel well, I misstated because I didn't see this in the directions. I said there was no way to re-secure that line, that you have to loosen up so that you can move the cooler back a little bit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Over here in the directions, there is this part right here, which is actually one of these. Actually, we'll take it all the way to the top. You had to take off this screw, which attaches this hosing or tubing here. And then there's no way it reaches back here because you have to move that cooler back towards the rear of the truck, and that moves this connection point further back, and there's no hole or anything here. So what I did is I took some wire, ran it through the connector that goes through the screw, and kind of secured it that way. Somebody pointed out to me on the channel, and I really appreciate it, that this extra bracket that I even mentioned in the video comes to secure this line down. You actually screw this end with the factory bolt that you take out of here into that hole, and then about 2 inches, like you move the cooler back, you'd put that tubing connector over and then go ahead and fasten it down with the provided hardware. Now, there is a little caveat to this. They say that if you need to use this nut, which is not nylon locking nut, to raise it up a little bit when you put that bracket down over this stud. So we'll see if I have to do that or not. I don't know. And then, of course, a washer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the Jeep out of here and get the Tacoma in the garage. It's gotten cold outside. Last night we had a cold front come through here, and it's like 50-some degrees outside, which might be pretty nice depending on where you're at. But here it was in the 90s the day before, so it was a heck of a temperature swing. So I'm trying to keep it as warm in here as I can before I open the door. But the time has come. Let's get the Tacoma in here and take care of this. Okay, I've got you guys in the wheel well. This is on the passenger side. We're going to go ahead and pop out these 3 little grommet plastic things so that we can pull this panel forward. Let's see if I can get under there. They should come out pretty easily, since I've already actually had them out once. They didn't go back in that securely, in my opinion. The kit probably should include replacements for these. I mean, I'd be more than willing to pay the couple of bucks or less that would cost. So, just a little suggestion for body armor if they ever see this video. Now, the screw that I'm talking about is right here. That's what I've got my wire tied down to this bracket that's sitting here. So I'm going to want to go ahead and remove that screw, and then I'll take off my bracket or my wire there. And I believe this is 10 millimeter, but I am wrong. So let me go grab a different socket. Let's try this. I think maybe it's a 12. Yep, I got that right. The second time. Now, lefty loosey. So, it's not a whole lot of room in here, but it's definitely doable. And I think I cranked that thing on there pretty good. Although, it came off pretty easy. Loosened pretty easy, I should say. Alright, that takes the bolt out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut the wire. And actually, no, it did not break. Well, that's good to know. I was worried that it might break from me tightening it, but it did not. So that's good. Let's go ahead and pull this through, rather. There we go. And then, it's pretty darn tight, and that's because I should have done this, I think, before I ever put that cooler forward. So I'm going to get a screwdriver and kind of push it up a little bit. Doing this without any sight line. Alright, now I want to try to get this under there. There we go, that gets it on there. So now I just need to get the original factory bolt, rather, back in the hole. If I can find it. Get that started in there. Hopefully without cross-threading it. Now I want to make sure I get that adjusted properly, and I think everything's so tight in there. I think it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get the lock washer, or the washer and the lock nut started on there before I go any more. You want to use a washer and then the lock nut. Let's go ahead and try that. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down a little bit. Again, this would have been probably much easier to do had I done it from the start. Is that a different size? You kidding me? It is. It's not a 12 millimeter. My guess is it's probably 13. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, it's a 13 for sure. Alright. Alright, that does it right there. That gets this bracket relocator on, and that's what I should have done from the beginning. I just missed it in the instructions, so that's kind of a bummer. But it's back on. Everything now is secured. I feel much better having it this way. I mean, honestly, I could have left it the way that I had it, but why do that? So now we have to go ahead and put the cover back on here, and that's just a matter of pushing these nubs back through the holes. Again, it's really not very tight. Kind of worries me a little if that'll stay, because if it doesn't, it's going to catch on the tire eventually, probably, and just rip it off. I mean, it's not going to really hurt anything per se, but you know, you don't want it to come off of there unnecessarily, right? And that takes care of it. That is what I should have done from the beginning. All right, there you have it. I just wanted to get on and make it right. You know, I kind of dogged Body Armor a little bit for not doing something about that, and they did. It was my fault. Read the directions, and if you come across something that doesn't make sense, like why doesn't this thing have a way to be re-secured, read the directions again. You might actually see it, or hope that a subscriber out there, like I had, points it out for you. Again, thanks to the person that gave me that light bulb moment. When they said that, as soon as they did, I knew that's what that extra bracket was for. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.